What's going on, New Breed? This is Nick.
This is Guy.
What's happening, everybody? We are going to be diving into some pretty good videos over these next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
We just got done with a quick synopsis of what legacy is.
Yeah.
And I think legacy is going to be a topic that we
keep bouncing back and forth.
Because I think the more revelation that we get on it, the more we want to share with you guys on it. And I think it's one of those topics that's going to keep on evolving. So, part of that legacy, though, is our marriages.
Yep.
And the type of husbands that we are, and the type of husbands that we were.
Yeah.
I will say for myself, everything that I could do wrong as a husband, I definitely did wrong as a husband.
Yeah.
And when I mean that, I mean everything from hiding drug habits, spending money that we didn't have, infidelity.
Yep.
And for people who don't know what that is, that's being a dirty, lying cheater.
Right.
What else was there? The lies on top of lies.
Yeah.
I walked out on my family for months at a time. So that's the type of husband that I was compared to. I got married very young. So I didn't really understand what I was committing to when I was that young. And I didn't understand how to be a husband. And that was the kind of foundation that I started on, was clueless.
Yeah.
So, what about you?
Yeah. I mean, pretty much everything you said was almost identical to mine. I've had multiple affairs. I've struggled with porn and lust. Anger was a big thing.
Yeah.
And also, my wife and I, we struggled with addiction. So there was for a long period of time that I was dealing with the effects of her addictions and what it was doing inside of me.
Yeah.
And I was even still reaching out for help even during this time, but you can only handle so much. And I think towards the end, I started to crack and fall.
Yeah.
And that's where the nasty side of me, came out. Where I stopped holding God's hand. I was fed up. I had enough, and I just became this dick, bro. Like, for real.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so,
oh man, dude, I sat across from my wife.
Mm.
Somebody who I've been with since I was a teenager. And I sat across from her in a therapist's office and said, I don't want to be with you anymore.
Right.
You talk about heartless, bro.
And you meant it.
Yeah.
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 Wow, it's just amazing. It's amazing to see what God not can do. I know what he's capable of doing.
What he will do.
But what he will do also based on our surrender, our humility, our heart posture.
Yep.
And our willingness to bring the stuff out into the light.
Yep.
And I think that was one of the hardest things for both of us to do, but it was well worth it.
Let me tell you something. The conversation that you have to have with your wife, where you have to tell her everybody that you've cheated with.
Yeah.
And they were people that she knew, so that was even harder.
Mm-hmm.
You can't even put to words how difficult these conversations are.
Yeah.
But I have never felt more free than I did when everything was out on the table.
Right. Yeah.
When she knew the drug addictions that I had, when she knew where all the money was going, when she knew all the affairs were taking place, when all that was out there, that's when my healing and that's when my freedom began.
Right.
But it wasn't going to begin until those conversations took place.
Right. That's very true. I think it was the same with us. I mean, just coming to the point of golly, man, I remember like it was yesterday, bro. I was so lost and depressed and broken.
Yeah.
I think we split up. I think this last time we were split up for about a year, and it just opened the Pandora box for me. And I told myself I didn't want to go back to that place, and I did.
Mm-hmm.
And I went viciously, and I couldn't stop. And I think from there, even when we got back together, and we were trying to work things out, and she was, you know what I'm saying, getting help and all this other kind of stuff. Man, I was faced with my reality. I was
Yeah.
faced with all my character defects. I was faced with my hurt and my pain and the resentments that I've had and what it was doing inside of me, and how I was actually pushing her even further away. I wanted her. I wanted to sanctify. Help me out. The
Ron
sanctity,
de
you know
Sanctimonious.
what I'm saying, of our marriage. But you want to talk about fight, right? You know what I'm saying? So it was hard. I don't know how to fight this, and because for so long I was without a herd.
Yeah.
So I didn't know how to be discipled with others. Again,
Yeah.
I knew it because I've tasted it, because I lived it, right?
Man, that's such a good
But-
point, because I didn't have anyone to model what a husband was.
Right.
Like, I didn't have that herd. I didn't have that group of godly men around me
Right.
to show me.
Well, see, I don't know. It's not that I didn't know how, because I was very romantic. I was constantly trying to be engaged with her and everything. What hurt me, though, was the fact that she was still struggling with her addiction. So what I had to deal with was all the pain.
Right.
But it wasn't even with her. It was the stuff I was doing to medicate the pain. So I was out there flirting around with her friends, with, just regular random girls. I think the hardest thing was confessing to my wife with the affair that I had in the oil field, and I got her pregnant. And I think with what God has done in her heart,
Yeah.
I was expecting a totally different outcome and a reaction.
Yeah.
But because of what God was already doing in her heart, it freed me to live in that grace.
Right.
To accept that grace.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Because I knew I had to confess it to free myself, but I was afraid of that reaction. I don't know what she was going to do.
Yep.
But just to see the level of maturity, that level of grace. Now, I heard her, don't get me wrong. I mean, she was not happy about it, but she showed me grace.
Yeah.
And it freed me up even more. And I think that's what we get to do with one another, when we can give each other grace in our relationships, and that level of respect and honor, that creates that bond, that intimacy even stronger.
Oh, yeah, dude.
And
Oh, yeah.
because, yes, like, I know everyone.
I find my wife so attractive, like more attractive than I ever have.
Right. When she modeled
Because
that
I
grace.
saw her heart when we walked through all that.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
I look at her different than any other woman.
Yep.
There's a, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. And it's just I started to truly respect her.
Yeah.
Right. And like, she's
The
been clean.
strength.
Yeah. See, like, these last 3 years has been amazing for us, because this is the free she has ever been.
Yeah.
I mean, she barely even takes ibuprofen for her headaches now. I mean, she's 100% clean and sober, and not just the superficial clean and sober, white knuckling. You know what I'm talking about? I mean, I'm talking about heart transformation.
Yeah.
And so we walked through a lot of stuff, bro. I mean, we walked, and we're still walking through a lot of stuff, and not in a negative way. We're just, okay, look, this is our fight.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This is our fight now.
Right.
Because we know, and we've seen, and we've experienced what the enemy can do to us.
Yeah.
And what doors that we have allowed to open up. Like, we're aware. And so this is our fight. This is our daily fight for one another. You want to talk about complacency and passivity? That's got to go out the window.
Yeah.
I have to constantly be engaged with my wife. I have to constantly be trying to woo her heart.
Yeah.
You know, but this is the difference between being a tool and being a godly man.
Right.
You know, I have to serve my wife. My wife serves me.
Yep.
Right? I have to communicate. That's her gift. Her gift is communication. Mine is not.
Right.
Like, I'll communicate and we'll talk, but she's just way better at that. And it hurts her heart when I don't communicate in the way that she wants me to. So I have to even be on top of that game.
Right.
Right? I think I've just been way more on fire living in this freedom, and God's working in my heart, and I've allowed him to work in my heart. You know what I'm saying? To where I can express all these feelings and everything, and just put myself out there in the light.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Night and day difference from who we are as husbands now
Yeah.
to from who we were.
Right.
It's
Well, I
it's
mean,
crazy.
I read this book, and you already know where I'm going to say, and my wife's done it. She's really going through it again. I think this time when she did it before, but Love Dare, bro, that's been so gangster for us. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Because it exposes you. It
Right.
exposes our selfishness, and that's what is lurking within us.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, we have that fruit of the spirit. We have God's presence within us.
Right.
But how much are we truly surrendering? And I think with my level of surrender to God and my heart posture towards God, it's a flowing grace that comes within me that I can flow back out. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Like into your marriage?
Yeah, into my marriage.
Yeah.
And because work gets to the best of me sometimes, the heat does, whatever, finances and everything, but bro, like I know I'm always reaching to be a better husband.
Yeah.
I'm always reaching. I want to be an effective husband.
Right.
I want that legacy.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I'm saying? I want my
Which
kids
is
to,
what these next couple weeks or videos are going to be, are how we can be effective husbands, how we can be passionate husbands,
right,
how we can be godly husbands.
yeah,
And the point of this video was just to give you guys just a little
Sneak
quick
peek.
insight of what our marriages were and how they are now.
yeah,
Complete difference, and 100% of that change comes from this right here.
yeah,
It's fighting,
yeah,
just like the videos we just got
Yep.
done with, the legacy videos. It's fighting for our marriage,
yep,
and allowing God to be the center, the nucleus, the foundation of our marriage.
right. Because
And
we already,
that's where you have to start. That
Yeah.
has to be the foundation that's made.
Yep, exactly. Because we already know the enemy's trying to kill, steal, and destroy us, right? You know what I'm saying? But what is he going to do with the family? He's going to
Bastard.
destroy.
Such a jerk.
He's going to destroy the marriage first. That's his number one.
Yeah.
Because if you can destroy the marriage, he's going to destroy the family. We already know that.
Yep.
All right, so how are we going to fight that? We can't fight it with just pride.
Right.
Right? We can't fight it with ego. We got to fight it with humility, the word, prayer, talking to others.
Yep.
Right? You know what I'm saying? This is what the herd is all about because we're all married. We all have families and we all have struggles. So all of this, what we're all trying to wrap it up in, is this is our fight, and this is what we're going to spend the next couple of sessions diving a little bit deeper in.
Yeah.
And so we're excited.
All right. No breed.
New breed.
We love y'all so much.
I like you little.
Yeah, like you little.
I love y'all.
Peace.
Peace.